Yes, I know. This game has been out for a couple months now, and in internet and gaming terms, it might as well already be a couple of years. But this is something that I've been brewing on for a long while. Marvel's Avengers, and the DOA-ness of the entire game. But there is one big note that really has to be driven home here. Don't blame Crystal Dynamics. Don't blame Eidos Montreal for this game. Blame Square Enix. Square Enix is not talked about in the terms of EA or Activision for your, mustache twirlingly cliche evil video game publishers, but they really should be. Because this isn't these guys' first real goat fuck when it comes to gaming. What does Square Enix do when they, get the most valuable IP known to man right now? What do you do? What could you do with the Avengers IP? You could make the deepest single player game of all time. Think about it. Ultimate Alliance, but in like a third person mode where it's just all straight single player, throughout a nice 10, 15, 20 hours deep single player campaign. You could have all these big villains and Thanos, everyone. No, 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 no. What does Square Enix do with the Avengers IP? Let's make a multiplayer live service Destiny or Anthem clone. Oh, and let's bring in single player studios to do it in Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal. Great idea, Square Enix. Just fantastic idea. It'll go great. We can whore this baby out like no other. But Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal. Let's talk about them for a minute. Crystal Dynamics basically single-handedly brought the Tomb Raider franchise back from basically death with some of the most acclaimed video games of all time in terms of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. My personal favorite being the 2013 entry. I might be the only person who says that, but I dug the shit out of the I think it was 2013 Tomb Raider game. And Eidos Montreal pumped out a clunker and Thief, but I still, you look at that and wonder what the hell just happened with that franchise in that game. But they pumped out Deus Ex Human Revolution, one of the best games of last generation, and Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which you're seeing here, and we have to talk about a lot in this video. Because Square Enix, in all of their boundless freaking majesty over their ivory towers in Japan, really don't know what to do with their Western game studios. Because Deus Ex Mankind Divided, as we all know, augment your pre-order, baby. Let's augment that sumbitch right now. Because the augment your pre-order, there is no way in hell that Eidos Montreal pitched that idea. Not a damn chance. You will never convince me that that was Eidos Montreal's idea. The augment your pre-order shit show was it literally kneecapped Deus Ex Mankind Divided. And I will say from here for the rest of eternity, the single player in that game, the main campaign, would have been longer without the shoehorned, and yes, shoehorned breach mode. Who asked for multiplayer in a damn Deus Ex game? Not Eidos Montreal. Not after Deus Ex Human Revolution was universally acclaimed. There is no way Eidos Montreal had that idea for the breach mode. And then you have your microtransactions that are completely unneeded because you level up pretty damn fast in Mankind Divided. And Mankind Divided, it's, yes, the single player is short, but in all honesty, it came from the school of Witcher 3 with deep side quests. If you only play the single player main quest in that game, you are seriously missing the hell out. Needed to be said. A lot of people gave that game too much shit. It's a fantastic game. The gameplay is goddamn jaw-dropping. It is fantastic. But that was not Square Enix's only shit show. They damn near killed IO Interactive in the Hitman franchise because somebody had the great idea of doing episodic releases with the Hitman. I do believe 2 Hitman games ago. Let's break up all this great Hitman game into like 5 different episodes. And again, why would IO Interactive do that? They made all these great Hitman games. They know how to make great Hitman games. Oh, let's for no reason break up a Hitman game into 5 different episodes and stretch out a Hitman game for way too long. And eventually, obviously, they were all combined into one game, and you actually got an entire game, you know? And IO Interactive was able to basically, I don't know if they bought their freedom or how they did it, they got away from Square Enix. Hitman became a great success. They released Hitman 2, which is an even greater success. Now they're working on a James Bond game. Yeah. Getting away from Square Enix is a great idea. Those guys turned things around like no other. But even there's even a case to be made for Just Cause's dip in quality, and that's just published by Square Enix. Avalanche doesn't even work for them. Just Cause 2, universally acclaimed, also published by Eidos, wink wink. And Just Cause 3 had insane amounts of destruction, yes, but even that, I think story-wise, and I still don't know what they did to Rika's voice actor in that game, because he sounds like incredibly off. Even Just Cause 3, I think there's a case to be made that there was some element, it was visible there. But Just Cause 4 was universally panned by everyone. Granted, Avalanche has been pretty busy. They also released Rage 2 just last year, and Just Cause 4 was released a year before that, so they may have been spread a bit thin. But there's even a case to be made that Just Cause 4 sucked. And what does Square Enix do with this great IP that they're pushing to their Western studios? Live service, baby. Moolah, dollar bills. Yeah, Fortnite's done it. Apex has done it. Destiny has done it, sort of. And very love-hate relationship by everyone. But games as a service have been mixed results, let's just say the least, with Anthem, that shit show. Are they ever actually going to release that big update they keep talking about for Anthem? There's no way. But Marvel's Avengers decides, Square Enix says we're chasing the money. Screw the gameplay. Screw basically everything else. Let's hook a few whales. Live service, microtransactions, obligatory horrendous menu system that nobody knows. I think just meant to confuse you so you accidentally spend money. This business model that Square Enix is chasing is 2 years too late, with an IP in a game that should have came out 5 years ago, and these graphics are about 10 years old. Look at these. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the E3 trailer last year. What was anyone thinking with this approach? You use the characters ripped straight from the movies, literally movie costumes. You I guess sort of try to make them look like their actor counterparts. I don't know what they were thinking with Captain America. If you're gonna use the movie costumes, just break down and make them look like Chris Evans, because this, in whatever Black Widow is supposed to be, I don't get it. And they used Dude Thor from the freaking from Endgame. He was like, why did they translate Dude Bro Thor into this fucking game? Who thought of that? You have he only adopted that look for one movie. He had the same exact look for basically every other movie, and now you adopt freaking Big Lebowski Thor for this. Like, why? Who the hell thought that was a great idea? And I don't get it why they adopted him straight from the movies, because everybody's going to recognize their costumes. They're going to see the box that's, oh, look, it's Captain America from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The problem is you're trying to piggyback these characters from world-class A-level actors that aren't reprising their roles. This is discount Robert Downey Jr. This is discount Chris Evans. This is, discount Scarlett Johansson. So you don't have the voice actors for these characters that look like they're ripped straight out of the cinematic universe. The instant people see that, they're gonna be disappointed. They're expecting Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all these great actors to reprise their roles. The instant it's not them, the instant Captain America takes that helmet off and he looks like freaking generic white guy that was built an engine for a freaking model test number 3050, they're gonna be pretty pissed off. The character models in this game literally look like an Xbox 360 game. I do not understand what Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix, Eidos Montreal were going for. The only redeemable thing that I have consistently seen everybody praise in this game was the single player campaign is actually pretty good, and obviously it freaking would be. This is Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal we're talking about here, two of the best single player studios in existence. Of course that part's going to be good, but once you get to the end game, as you get ever closer to that end game, it starts creeping in. Here's your gear, here's your microtransactions, here's your battle passes for every character in the game, baby. Money, dollar bills, dog. And this is such I couldn't believe that there's a battle pass for literally every character. Like, oh my god. That is ultimate cheapness in just, it's a complete sellout. That's all you can say about Marvel's Avengers. This game is a complete sellout from Square Enix. I will never be convinced that Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal were totally... These guys would have made a single-player game. They teamed up before on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That was co-developed between Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal. It was one of the most beloved single-player games I think to really come out this generation. And then you get whatever the hell this is, this corporate focus group mess that Square Enix probably spent so much money on to focus group and see how we can work every last cent out of our customers' pockets. And lo and behold, it has backfired big time. Let's just hope, though, that it doesn't take Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal with them. Square Enix will live to whore out another game. They already did it with the Final Fantasy VII remaster. Sorry. But let's just hope that maybe Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics can buy their freedom from Square Enix and they can live to make more great games. Thanks for watching.